All right, so we're going to react to this American Redact video that came out a few days ago. It's titled, When Comedians Get Butthurt by Criticism. Let's hear.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about the drama. I mean, the drama is such like, grow up. Give me a fucking break. I don't give a fuck about your judgmental opinion because you yourself are not on high. Unless you're not, are you tweeting your hate at me from a phone that was mined from lithium by people that were trapped? What are you talking about? Who made your car? Where'd you get gas? Who made your clothes?
Comedians are some of the most sensitive people alive. Compared to nearly every other entertainer in the world, they seem to get the most rattled in the face of negative criticism, which is just completely ironic considering that they've all made careers out of negatively criticizing just about everything under.
Exactly. They're known for criticizing everything, but some reason not being able to take the criticism, which is an odd thing. Everybody knows that that's strange, and that's why you get targeted. That's why people come after you, because it's so clear that it's going to get to you. I think it has more to do with the fact that they're so used to having that validation so quickly by being on a stage, saying something they deem funny and, some people laughing. Like, oh, fucking, that's awesome. Whereas on the internet, it's like, oh, people are laughing at you, not so much with you.
Under the sun. It's been one whole month since the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival happened, and some of the biggest comedians that performed there are still melting down about it on their podcasts, almost acting shocked that their actions may have actually had irreversible long-term consequences. For example, Bill Burr still can't believe that he was negatively criticized for taking money from the Saudi government.
And that's exactly what I've said. I said this in another video when I talked about Bill Burr. I don't care so much about the performance. I'm an MMA fan, so they perform everywhere. But my thing is the backlash that he got from it is something that most of these comedians at this level don't see, right? They got people that run their social media, so they don't even know about it. But when it gets to be so big, they're going to be told, they're going to be informed. Their fans aren't a fan of what you did, right? And it's never going to go away. It's stuck in their head forever.
Even though he spent years on his podcast morally grandstanding against entertainers who did exactly that.
Beyonce and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million. Did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make? You're going to take a gig where you're going to go dance?
You see, that's another reason why people are upset. There's valid evidence of Burr saying, hey man, we shouldn't do that. And then he did it. So of course people are going to be like, hey man, you were the guy that was standing on this thing saying, hey, don't do that. And then you're a hypocrite, bro.
Like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids. And then you take that fucking blood money. And what he's done, you couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans? The fuck is wrong with you?
And if you've been following his crash out at all, then you'd know that he's essentially exhausted every single excuse that he could think of to justify his performance there. And since that
100%, and we already knew, if you know anything about Bill Burr, that's what he was going to do. He was going to try to spin it to make himself either look like a victim or look like everything's fine. Hey man, they're just like us. There were some baddies in the front row.
Obviously didn't work. He's now just resorted to threatening the comics who criticized him for going. But just the other day, Bill Burr was on his podcast insinuating that he would verbally eat Maron alive if he ever catches him in public.
The internet, the inner web of lies. I'm still thinking about that bullshit from a few weeks ago. That was a fucking, what a...
Hey, Bill, we know. You're going to say this on every podcast from this point forward. Every time you guest on a podcast, you're going to bring this up. And if you don't, you're still going to be thinking about it.
Bunch of fucking... Oh, that was one of the hardest things ever, to keep my mouth shut and just not trash every one of those fucking cunts. Oh, am I looking forward to running into a few people. Hey, what's the latest? What's the latest on you caring about... It's weird. All of a sudden you don't care anymore? What happened? You flapping your fucking goddamn arms up and down. What happened? What's your cause this month to help sell whatever project?
Now again, we've heard this clip before. We've reacted to this a little bit before. But it's just gross. It's gross that this is what it's became. But at the same time, how are you gonna learn?
Project you're on, you. Anyway.
And Bill Burr saying this about Maron is just so funny because Maron told maybe 3 little jokes about the Riyadh Comedy Festival on stage, and he didn't even mention anyone's names. It seems that Bill is just coping with the fact that his audience is Brendan Schaubifying him in real time, especially after he came home and exploded on his fans in front of a live Conan O'Brien audience and on his own podcast twice.
How dare you go to that place and make those oppressed people laugh, you
And this is exactly why I think that comedians should start being forced. And this is exactly why I think comedians should start being forced to wear clown makeup. Truly. I think it would help decipher whenever they're trying to actually be funny and when they're trying to be a philosopher, dude. Let's do that. If Bill Burr's wearing clown makeup right here, we can all laugh. It's a joke. He's being funny. But because he's not, you have to take this as Bill Burr being a serious asshole. Screaming at his fans. Where's the clown makeup, dude? Nothing about this makes me think it's funny.
fucking piece of shit. I can't believe you went to that place I can't find on a map. And this bot said I was upset about it. So now I am.
See, it's one of two things. The people in the comments are either bots or they're dorks, right? It can't ever be somebody who's got a valid opinion or, gripe or whatever you want to call it, right? It can't be that.
He totally butchered his response to the backlash and is now just taking it out on Maron because he's apparently an easy target for these comedians to go after. Like in the last couple weeks, Maron was mentioned by name on 3 huge separate podcasts. And whenever his name's brought up, it's very clear that he's gotten under all of their skin because they almost always just insult Maron without even a hint of a punchline. Like on the Flagrant episode where they addressed the Riyadh Festival, when Maron's name came up, Schultz and his designated butt wiper, Akash, were furious with Marc.
Yeah, the designated butt wiper, 100%. Akash is the worst and nobody should know who he is. He's one of the few comedians that sits down while he does comedy that shouldn't even be standing up doing comedy. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be there at all. No reason he should be on a stage anywhere. But all these guys mentioning Maron, you gotta wonder why. And I think that's because they realize that if there's anybody that can compete audience-wise, or at least could have, maybe 5 years ago, was Marc Maron. There was more people listening to his podcast than Rogan at one point. So it's not hard to believe that he still has some true fans out there, some ride or dies. And if these guys can somehow sway them or bully them somehow, they're going to try to do that.
Marc Maron, saying he can't sell out shows outside of Brooklyn, that none of his fans are minorities, and that he's just jealous that he didn't get the invitation to Riyadh.
Kind of like the local politics of how
Son, that's the thing when these
Well, that's the ridiculous part, is because Maron says that. He said, after he did all those jokes talking shit, right? He says, I'm probably just saying this because I'm upset that I didn't get invited. I mean, he already cleared that up, but everybody wants to take everything out of context and make it say this and say that and make you feel this way and feel that way. But the reality is, watch the whole thing and feel how you want to feel after, not just these little tidbits, right?
comics are like trying to be self-aware when they're shitting on us. They're like, just for the record, we didn't get an invite to the Riyadh.
We know you didn't.
Yeah.
You can't perform outside of Brooklyn.
Exactly. Like,
you do musical theater crowd work.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, your comedy isn't good. Why would they want you?
Look at that audience of yours. I bet I can count the minority.
Well, I mean, it's one thing to make fun of somebody for their crowd work skills. It's also another thing to be proud of your crowd work skills. Like, that's all you got, dude. Shut the fuck up. You're a public speaker. You're not even a motivational speaker at that. You're just a public speaker. You're not a fucking comedian. You can stand on stage and talk at the audience all you want. That doesn't mean it's funny or comedy.
Minorities on one hand.
What a sacrifice to not go to the festival you weren't invited
Yeah,
to.
they don't know you exist. It's not
Yeah.
because you're a problem. It's not because you speak truth to power.
Yeah.
It's because you speak truth to upper middle class white people and 10 minorities who want to fuck upper middle class white people.
Just pat yourselves on the back.
I mean, who the fuck does Akash think he is, though, to say anything about anybody? Like, you are basically an open micer, guy. If it wasn't for the fact that you are riding the coattails of Andrew Schultz and anybody else you can in New York, you'd be nobody, a zero. You still are in most people's eyes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go
Yeah.
to a Marc Maron show. Count the minorities.
Exactly. Yeah,
I doubt you get. I doubt you get to the second hand.
Yeah, where are those minorities he cares so much about?
And just remember, guys, that Marc Maron literally said 3 light jokes on stage about the comedians going. And when you go back and watch that again, all this stuff seems disproportionately aimed at Marc.
You know, like, from the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert. Don't miss it.
Okay, so this is where you're actually probably going to get to see where Marc says, I'm just probably angry or whatever, or responding this way because I didn't get invited. That right there should quell any issues. Otherwise, you're overanalyzing it, my guy. You're also just throwing your name in there as if he must be mentioning me. It must be about me. The fucking ego, dude. The narcissism it's incredible.
I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't...
You know, I used to hate actors. I used to think actors were so fucking lame. And I'm starting to think that it's more like, comedians. I mean, the fact that Whitney goes and says that anybody commenting about her or whatever is a dork, not realizing that she's the one that's got to put her face on camera every single day for whatever reason. I don't know, man.
But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform.
See?
And that was literally all Marc Maron said about the festival in public. Just some light jokes that contained pretty reasonable criticism. And again...
And he's doing stand-up, right? That's the whole thing. He's doing stand-up. Where, at the very least, you could assume he's joking. Because he's doing stand-up while he's saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Either way, guys, go check out the rest of this video if you haven't already watched it. I mean, it's got damn near 500,000 views already in 4 days. Yeah, American Redact, some of my favorite. Very well done content. Go check them out. Hit the like and subscribe over there if you haven't already, like I said. And do the same here, man. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers before the new year. That would be crazy. But until the next one.
Blah.